the next thing I want to talk about is actually how to install ISO images to prepare your Proxmox instance to run virtual machines. So in order to install ISO images, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you actually have a location that can accept ISO images. So for example, right here onto the Proxmox instance, you'll see that I have a local storage. If I click on the local storage, you can see a tab right here that says ISO images. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that not every directory has this available right off of the gate, and I will actually show you how to edit this. So if you look over here, you can actually see that the type of instance is a directory. So only directories can really be changed to hold ISO images. Click on data center right here. Once you click on data center, you can go over here to where it says storage. Click on storage and you can actually see right here your local storage, which is a type directory. If you click on the local storage and you hit edit, you can actually see the content filtering right here. You can click down on the content and you can enable what type of content it accepts. So we're going to go ahead and enable disk images, containers, and snippets as well. Go ahead and click OK. So now when we travel over here to local, now you can see there's even more than just ISO images available. Upload an ISO image, what you're going to do is you're going to click right here on ISOs, and you're going to want to outsource somewhere else to have your ISOs. So for example, this Proxmox instance can be running on a dedicated hardware such as a server, but the device that you are accessing your server on, so for example, my purpose right now, I'm using my laptop. My laptop, I have one ISO image already downloaded, ready to go. So all I have to do for this instance is click on upload, and then I'm going to click on select a file right here, and this is the ISO that I have downloaded ready to go. So I went ahead and downloaded Slack 64-bit. So all I have to do is just double click on Slacks. You can see right here that it's an ISO image. This is the size. And all I have to do is click on upload and just let it go through the process of uploading into Proxmox. Once you are greeted with this screen right here, you can see that it says task OK. This means that the ISO image was uploaded successfully, so you can just click on the X and you can see right here I have Slack 64-bit uploaded. So that's how to upload an ISO image. So now this ISO image is what's going to help you as far as creating a virtual machine. So now I'm going to show you how to actually create or upload a container template which will allow you to create containers. So to create that, you're going to click over here on CT templates. You're going to go ahead and click on, you can either upload your own, you can either download it from a URL, or you can just click on the templates that Proxmox already has on there. So for this example, I'm just going to click on templates, and we are going to go ahead and search Ubuntu. Now I'm going to go ahead and download the Ubuntu 20.04 Standard Edition. It's just one that I'm very comfortable with, but you can really do anything for this example. But I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Okay, so now you can see here, it's the same thing with the ISO images. I am greeted with the task OK. So now you can go ahead and click the X, and you can see here that Ubuntu 20.04 is officially uploaded. So now what I want to do is go over how to actually create a virtual machine and create a container inside of Proxmox. Okay, so to create a virtual machine, you're going to go ahead and click up here on create a VM. The VM ID you can leave alone, or you can choose to change it if you like. Proxmox is fine. For the name, we're going to go ahead and just name this Slacks. I'm going to press next. So right here, you're going to want to actually choose the storage location of where your ISO image is located. For this purpose, mine is located under images. I'm going to click the drop down right here, and I'm going to choose Slack 64-bit. I'm going to go ahead and press next. You can leave all this alone, or you can choose to change it. It's completely up to you. Next, and right here, this is actually where you're going to assign how much storage is given to the virtual machine. So I'm actually going to change this to, let's say 20 gigabytes. I'm going to go ahead and press next. For CPU, so this is where you decide on how many cores and all that you want to give it. I can leave it at 1 core. For the type, I am going to click over here under the type, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to click on host. Basically, this passes through the same type of CPU that your host machine is using. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. Memory is fine. We'll leave it at 2 gigs. I'm just going to keep on clicking on next. Right here, this is the overview to make sure you have everything correct. I'm going to go ahead and click on Start After Created. This is completely up to you. You can choose to leave this unchecked if you want to edit it before actually starting it. But I'm going to go ahead and check that, and I'm going to click on Finish. Now you can see over here, 103 is actually being spun up right now and being created. You will see the name change once it has been completed. There you go. So you can see it changed to VM 103 right now. And it should change one more time to the actual name that we had given it. There you go. So now you see it's been changed to Slacks, and it's actually green, indicating that it is spinning up right now and that it is working. So you're going to click on Slacks. Now there's two ways to view this. As you can see right here, there is the console tab right here, where you can be under console to view the virtual machine itself. Or you can actually click up here at the very top where it says console. You can click on that to actually separate it into a separate window if you want to multitask the virtual machine. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and close that. But you can see right here that we have a completely spun up instance of Slacks in a virtual machine. Okay, so to create a container, you're going to basically follow similar steps. You're going to click up here at the top where it says Create CT. Click right there. You're going to go ahead and for the host name, name it whatever you like. For this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and name it test. For the password, you're going to want to go ahead and put in any password you like, but make sure you do remember this password. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press on next. Right here, this is for the template, so you're actually going to choose the location of your templates, which mine are under images. My template for this purpose, we're going to be doing what we did earlier, which is the Ubuntu 20.04. I'm going to go ahead and press next. This is where you give it as much storage as you would like. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 8 gigs is fine. Press next. CPU, we can just leave it at 1 core, or you can change it to how many ever you like. I'm going to go ahead and press next. The memory, 512 megabytes is fine for me, but you can change it to 2048 for 2 gigs or 4096 for 4 gigs, or pretty much anything you like. But I'm going to go ahead and press next. For network, we're going to actually go ahead and let the router decide on the IP address to assign it. So I'm going to click on DHCP for both the IPv4 and IPv6. Right here for the DNS, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank because it's just going to use the host settings of my Proxmox instance. So, or you can choose to change it, it's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and press next. Right here, I'm just going to go ahead and check over everything, make sure everything's fine. For me, same thing as before, I'm just going to click on Start After Created, but completely up to you. I'm going to click Finish, and we just let it go through its process of creating the container. Alright, so you are now greeted with a task OK, so go ahead and click the X. You can see over here my container 105 test is just now spinning up, so I can click on test. I'm going to go ahead and click right here under console to view the container, and now you can see we are greeted with Ubuntu 20.04. So the test login, well, really every login for a container is always going to be root. The password is going to be the password you gave it once during creation. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the password. Okay, so now once you put in your password and your username, you will be greeted with this screen. You can see here that I am completely booted into the Ubuntu version of this container. So you can see here that we can do a couple things like put in IP address. This shows you exactly the IP address that the container was assigned using DHCP. And then we can even put in a uname, just so that way you can see that we have test right here. We have the PVE, and we have all the information that we need just to show you that this is a Ubuntu 20.04 container. So now you can use it pretty much how you like. That's pretty much how to create a virtual machine, how to create a container. And I just want to thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.